to the top to prove that he is one of the most dominant gold laners we have seen in the NACT, in the NA scene. And Melon has been this rookie who last season started off on the bench for Vendetta, about halfway through season, came in and just shook the scene. And now he's continuing to dominate. He didn't get a Savage yesterday, but he got a Maniac. And I think if there's anyone he needs to take down to prove his place, it is going to have to be Zia.
Yeah, I think it's definitely Zia's tournament, right? This feels like it's his time right now. He's the main character. Everyone else is side character at this point. And for BTK, we know he was a part of BTK when they went for the M3, and you know the story as well. You were a part of the whole thing. He wasn't really the main guy that got BTK to that point, and then still showed up in the global stage, and then not in the lane that he prefers. And then they come back, there's a lot of drama going around, swaps it, and then all of a sudden makes his way back, and now ready to prove his point. And they better watch out for him, because Vendetta really need to show some respect towards Zia's goal lane over here. Matilda being banned out. Again, it's that first, it's a blue side. It's not something we're used to seeing. Seems like definitely strategies have changed. Fovia's taken off the table as well, and the rest is right there.
Yeah, definitely very, different. Both drafts from last series, there are some change-ups, right? The Jushin and the Joy are not making it through. We saw Jushin almost every game in the last series. This time, Vendetta doesn't want to give that into the hands of Hoon. He was a star with it last time. So we're looking at junglers. We're looking at opportunity here. The Luke is still open. The Suyo still open. The Hayabusa still open as well.
Yeah, Hayabusa. I think that's got to be the ban. Because usually best player is known for his assassins, right? And I've been watching best player since M1 days, since I was a fan. So right now he gets a chance to prove himself. Of course, right now that's the star squad, right? That's the so-called what do you call that? Is that I forgot the word. What do you call that? That MVP star lineup squad? Like all-star squad. That's the all-star squad of NA, right? At the moment. But you can see, although that comes through, before we move on, the bands Jawhead, Gatot. You liking it?
Yeah, I mean the Gatot maybe questionable, but I mean you never really count out BTK. Vendetta, I think since the Hayabusa wasn't taken away first, it's a great pickup. You pull it away from best player, and not only that, but you take this Kimmy that Zia got the Savage on yesterday. So far, Vendetta looking comfortable, looking like they got exactly what they wanted in the first phase of this draft. BTK now forced to answer back. We've seen how Suyo's had a little bit of trouble against the Hayabusa. We've seen how some of those things have had a little bit of trouble overall. So do you go for it?
Yeah, and not only did they pick up the Kimmy, they even deny the Hayabusa, right? So best player right now doesn't get the Hayabusa, Zia doesn't get the Kimmy, but I mean they have a plethora of heroes to choose from. They go for the first pick Gatot, so it definitely works here. They could still go for the Harriet in the gold lane. The Granger is still a good option. But they still lock in the Suyo, probably the best jungler right now apart from that. And they get the Selena. So again, Hoon's going to be rocking that Selena.
Yeah, we saw yesterday. He was able to not be, you said it great. He wasn't as aggressive with it. It was more support. He always hung out in the back line, but it created this big barrier. It made the members of the enemy team not want to try to dive in, not want to try to get aggressive, because Hoon was always there to just put out the stiff arm, put out the abyssal arrow, and stop them in their tracks. Now, Vendetta got to finish out their first phase. What do we think's coming in?
It's got to be a pickoff, right? They could go for a Cho if Tia at all plays it. He could even go for the Franco, but I don't think Franco here is good against the Selena. You're really shooting yourself in the foot right there if you go for it. EXP lane could be a good option. Yeah, they lock in the flex, right? The Badang's a really good pick, especially you don't want the Selena to dive in with that Garot. And also you get to have a lot more capability to make plays in these neutral objectives.
And we saw the Badang one time yesterday from Team Ego. Vendetta actually beat it. It did look good, like there was some opportunity there, but Vendetta was just a little too far ahead for Team Ego to really capitalize on it. So excited to see how Merciless uses it. Could be a way to kind of sneak into that back line, sneak in, if you can find those flanks, find those angles, and you're able to catch Hoon, it could create the opening for the rest of the team to engage.
Yeah, I think that's what they're relying on as well. At least having more than one options to make a play, because you don't want only Shark to be the one that create the play. You don't want Chicken the only one to make the play. You also have Hoon, who can provide that off of an Abyssal Arrow, and with that long stun, it could feel like forever if there's a chain CC coming through as well. So it's good that they take out the Tigreal, because you prevent that opportunity being taken away from you, because you want to dive in, because with the fact that BTK have a Suyo, they have a Selena, they have a Gatot, they definitely want to dive in towards the opposition. So it works in the favor of Melon, who's playing this Kimmy, but also just taking away heroes that could be a problem, like the Tigreal itself is a good ban. So they're definitely having a good drafting phase. It looks better than the first series, right? The draft at least.
And then Vendetta also taking out the Hilda's clean, right? We saw Chicken use it yesterday twice in both games. And when you have something like a Hayabusa on the field, you have that assassin jungle, you don't want a Hilda running down on you here and there when you're trying to go get your purple buff. You don't want to be harassed by that Hilda. So covering their bases, well thought out, methodical on this draft. And since they've already picked up the Kimmy, you now take out this Harith, Xia. The options are dwindling in the gold lane.
Yeah, the gold lane is looking a little bleak right now. You got the Granger, you got the Irithel. The Beatrix is a great option as well. You have the Natan that's been buffed recently or had slight rework. And then you have the Clint. And to be honest, I think... Yeah, Clint is... he's super strong at the moment. Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised I haven't seen a Clint so far. Only thing is his mobility is in question, right? Yeah. That's the only thing. So that I could say like Clint's not going to be a great option right here against Hayabusa. So probably looking to go down a Granger, maybe a Harith. Harith's already Granger, maybe a Beatrix. But so far, the Farsa is a really great ban.
And then we get the clutch Yato pick, the Valentino. We saw him play yesterday a bunch. It's comfortable. It's easy. You get to steal the AOG as well. You get to have something to kind of fight back against the heavy crowd control of BTK. There's your Beatrix pick, not to mention stacked up with the Kalea.
Yeah, that's instant burst, right? It's a good combo that comes through. You can go for the pick off. You have the Nibiru's Passion. You have Bennett's Rage. I've seen it played in the China Invitational as well, where they went for the Tsunami Slam and then you just go with the Bennett's Rage. So and then instant burst right there. So there's definitely a playmaking opportunity. Also there with the Abyssal Arrow that could come through from Hoon. And then, of course, they're looking good in these big team fights, right? Especially the Lord, the Turtles, level 4, BTK, super strong. What do Vendetta do to close it out?
I mean, we're looking for a roamer, right? They take up the Hylos. They take up something simple here, something tanky, something that can withstand. When Suyo wants to try to dive in, you get that stun. You get some heal for Merciless on this Badang. I think it's a safe pick, the Hylos, right? It's nothing too crazy. You're not going to ever overextend exactly. It's something solid since they already have the damage. They already have the Kimmy who can kind of just hang out in the backside. You want something that can just stand in that front line as long as possible while your back end just fires away.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the plan for Vendetta, especially with Melon versus Xia. I think that's going to be the highlight for this entire match, right? It's got to be that Beatrix versus the Kimmy.
Yeah, and the great thing about it, too, is Xia also gets some comfort here. Like, Xia's no slouch on the Beatrix. We've seen him steal Lords with the Sniper. We've seen him do some insane thing. I think my big worry for him is going to be this Hayabusa, is going to be this Badang. You know, things that can really give him a hard time. I'm guessing he's going to take Flicker here just to try to escape. Maybe go for the Purify, but most likely Flicker.
Yeah, it is going to be either or, but before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, North America Challenger Tournament, second semifinal of the night, best of 5. The match to watch out for, BTK versus Vendetta. Who's going to come out on top? It is only game number 1 in a best of 5 series.
Yeah, super excited for it. I'm wondering exactly who's going to play the aggressive foot. Yesterday, BTK versus the Valley, they were popping off immediately, both teams, but with so much on the line here, it could be a slightly slower game. I want to take a look at it. Xia does go for the Flicker there, so we get some movement. Yato already getting pushed back.
Yeah, he's already taken down below half HP, right? And that's the power of the early game of the Selena. Has those Abyssal Arrows almost connecting on towards T right there as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, talking about early game, late game, where are these spikes happening? We know that Melon won't really come online until about third turtle or so, to whereas Zia could maybe make some plays happen. Hoon with the stuns, with the play potential that BTK has, they can look for some early game pickoffs here. One bad stun, one bad tsunami slam from Shark could definitely set them on a steamroll effect here.
Yeah, definitely could be going either way, though, as well. If Kush gets those pickoffs early on, it could be a disastrous for BTK. And on the Hayabusa, that's what he's looking to do, because you can see right now, best player goes on towards, has a Soul Sever as well. Instant first! The Blood takes down Kush, and BTK have advantage straight away.
Yeah, that's a rough start right there. Losing your jungler 13 seconds before Turtle pops up. He does have level 4 at least. Maybe they still try to fight this out. But once again, another pickoff. Best player gets the kill on the T.
Yeah, that's looking rough right now. BTK maximizing the utility of the Selena, being as aggressive as possible, but you can see that best player one has his eye on the prize, goes for the neutral objective, and just racking up the gold, making it rain money on the side of BTK.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a 1,000 gold lead, first 2 minutes. BTK had a good start. We definitely can't count Vendetta out just yet in game one. They have, like I said, they have a great mid-game spike. Even the Valentina's going to start dishing out some damage. Now that you got the level 4, if you can get that AOG, there is some opportunity, but another stun!
Yeah, you get the Tsunami Slam coming through as well, but at the same time, fist crack combo, and T gets taken down, and right now you see Yato as well has the Purify, doesn't use it just yet, but it is looking good for BTK and their fans as Chicken trying to go on towards Merciless. Best player one, along with the Gato going for the invade. Kush can't really do anything at this point with BTK. Shark gonna be there as well. 4-man rotation just to take away Kush's buff.
It feels like BTK just has their cards read right now, man. They're hunkering down on that mid side. They know that Yato and T are kind of hanging out there to clear the wave, and they're just waiting for the moment. There's no rotations.
Yeah, no rotations. T is going to be the target. It's 0-3-0 on a Hylos. Yes, Hylos is good. He's tanky on the front line as well, but if he's not able to get his items, what's he going to do?
Now look at Melon, man. They're hunting for him. They thought he was hanging out of that mid bush. He was able to get some damage on Zia, though.
He flickers out, and right now you can see Yato coming through as well. Shark is there. They take away that Tsunami Slam. Yato looking to make a play. Just not there yet.
Yeah, luckily the damage dealers on the side of Vendetta have not gone down, but looking at the kills, best players 3-0-1. Suyo 3-0-1 is not what you want to see 4 minutes into the game. This is a dangerous man walking right now.
Yeah, you can see this already level 7 as Merciless gets his hands on the Thunderbelt, and Hoon, Shark, and best player along with Chicken, you can see they're dominating the river.
Yeah, I mean, this is, at this point, Vendetta's got to back off. They got to be careful. Bloodthirsty Kings are just hanging out in these bushes, waiting for them to walk by. Vendetta, at this point, can't even take the river completely. They have to take the long route around the back, but we're coming into second turtle, and VTA wants to fight for it.
Yeah, Bloodthirsty Kings are out for blood indeed, because you can see right now they can make the play. Shark already drops it down. He wants to go for the title strike. He gets the Tsunami Slam as well. AOG come through from Shark. Catches T, but right now the Retribution in the hands of Kush. But meanwhile on the back line, Merciless tries to catch them as the best player goes down. He gets shut down finally as they trade 1-for-1, but a double kill in the hands of Melon. Now he's looking for more. Zia's the one who can get caught out as he gets himself a triple kill, and this Kimmy's definitely online.
Melon showed up, Melon pulled up, Melon did what he needed to do, all for the price of Merciless, a turtle, a chicken, a Zia, and a best player. It's a good trade up for Vendetta.
Looks like that's a grocery list. He just went out shopping, got himself some turtle, got himself some chicken. And now with Melon, though, you can see the items as well. Got himself a concentrated energy, and I think 2 build paths as well, right, Trex? So you've seen the concentrated energy picked up by others, and we've seen Zia go for the feather and the Sky Piercer first. So I don't know, like it's 2 different kinds of builds.
Yeah, and I mean, and we saw this. I don't think Zia went straight Sky Piercer the other day either when he took the Kimmy. It was like his 3rd or 4th item a little bit later, and we've seen some of the players that have gone for first item Sky Piercer fall a little bit short. So I think this is a safer route for Melon, but look at the pickoff possibly on the top side. Vendetta finally kind of getting into their groove.
Yeah, they went for the conceal play as well, but right now they don't see Chicken right there. He could make the play once more as he has the AOG online as well. Looking for the taunt on towards Merciless. Gets the pushback, but seems like they just want to disengage.
You know, even though Merciless died at that last turtle, I feel like he did his job well. He's able to keep the rest of the team back to make sure Vendetta secures the turtle. And that pushback that he has is going to be real helpful going against best player in these fights. It's going to be real helpful going against Shark in these fights. It's going to be able to kind of create some distance so that Vendetta can play it out. So BTK, now that early game aggression is slowing down, they need to find some answers.
Tsunami Slam comes through with the Banister Rage as well. Instantly they get a kill, and now they go for the second. Yato made his own play using the IMU, but didn't work out. Hoon gets himself the Abyssal Arrow. Mel is the target, looking to get out of harm's way, and I think BTK got what they came for. Eye on the neutral objective next.
Do we think the Tsunami Slam is the good steal for Yato? It looks really cool. Yes, it's fancy because you get to dash in, then pop the Tsunami Slam to get the extra dash. But also, you're so squishy that when you go that deep, Yato's just getting melted down, and that's about all he can do when he needs to be the damage dealer.
Yeah, I think that's the decision that they got to make, right? They have the choice. I think the choice is definitely going to make the play, make or break the game as well, because a hero like Valentina has the option, but right now they go on towards and pop the Purify as well, try to survive. Good Terrify coming through, and they target down Shark while Kush is trying to clear the wave. As you can see, goes in for the quad shot. Ogi Shadow Kill on top of Zia. He's taking out low, but he still survives as BTK Zia lives to see another day.
They're looking for Melon, chunking out some damage as well. We got us a game, boys. It's 6-3. We're 7.5 minutes in. Gold at practically a standstill. BTK 1K up right now, and still not a single tower taken. We're getting to the Lord, and it is a stalemate.
Oh my god, they go for the Tsunami Slam on towards Yato. No Purify used just yet. We can see instantly they get the kill, and that is the power of a chain CC composition.
All right, so now with Yato down, 18 seconds on the clock, they do have time to buy before Lord gets on. BTK just looking for some map control, looking for some more pickoffs.
Oh, Melon, though, he's able to get out of harm's way, because in the back line, they go for the AOG, gets canceled out by Merciless. A good play, but again, he goes on top of Melon as Chicken is looking for him. Revitalize to help him survive, and there's the big glorious pathway used as well. Melon is to get out of harm's way, but Shark comes through, gets the knock-up, and now get one kill apiece as Melon gets himself the Sky Piercer. He should be looking for more, but I think they call it a stalemate and just walk out.
Yeah, but best player for T is a good trade in the hands of Vendetta. Not only that, but another kill into the hands of Melon. Watch for the pick up on a Merciless, still able to get away though.
Oh, and you can see Kush goes in with a quad shadow. Ogi Shadow Kill on towards Hoon as well. Chicken takes the brunt of the damage. Right now you can see the Tsunami Slam coming through from Yato as they get the kill on towards Shark. And here comes the Fist Crack combo. And they take down Zia. That's a double kill in the hands of Melon.
Okay, boys. Vendetta showing up right now. Melon is 6-0-0. I don't know if BTK is going to want to give over that Kimmy once again. Lord getting chunked down. BTK, do they even go for this? Best player on the back foot.
Well, you can see right now the Lord is taken down low. Kush gets the retribution. Lord in the hands of Vendetta. And now they back off, buying their time. Lord is already marching down the top side. And I think this gives plenty of room for Vendetta to play around with.
All right, so now that the tides have shifted a little bit, yes, the gold lead's not really into the hands of Vendetta, but map control starts to shift a little bit. Vendetta has to try to get some towers here. What does BTK do, right? They have wave clear, they have some opportunities, but it seems like the spike has definitely landed into the hands of Vendetta. They have to find a way to get to Melon, right? They have to find a way to break through that tanky front line that is T and Merciless, and it is tough right now. So do they maybe go for a more split-up angle? Look for some flanks, let best player kind of play the field a bit and not be the front line. That, I think, could be the answer. He needs to look for a way to the backside, get that Queller onto Yato, get that Queller onto someone else.
Oh, this is the power of the Selena, right? Instantly, an Abyssal Arrow gets that. You can get lucky with the arrow, but it's all right. You still get the pick off as Kush goes down, and that means Vendetta will have to back off.
Yeah, those are the little mistakes that could be game deciders, right? Those little getting caught by one arrow could completely turn the tables in back into BTK's hands here.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Best player needs to find a flank angle as well, because right now you can see going ahead, Law and Order leading the charge for Vendetta and showing that they can play aggressive even without Kush. So BTK really need to pick their fights at this point.
All right, so back to the drawing board for both teams. It is still a dead even stalemate. We're talking 30.6k gold for both teams, 9-6, 11 minutes in. And VTA just hanging out in this mid side. Watch for Fried Chicken, though. Doesn't want to steal it. Yato does take the Tsunami Slam, so watch for the big possible dive play from him.
Yeah, and I think not just that, BTK have a lot more options to play around with. They have the arrow, they have the AOG, they also have the stun that could come through, the Bladesters that could come through from best player, but right now Kush is going to be the target there, making sure they lock him down, not giving him any room to breathe.
Yeah, BTK is playing the map so well right now. They get that top tier 2, which is huge. A little bit of play, though, on the mid side.
Yeah, Shark tries to go through, looking to pick off someone. You can see at the same time, Penetrates come through and misses completely, but again, AOG coming through from Chicken, but in the back line as well, Merciless goes through and they find Kush, so that's Jungler or a Roamer traded as he finds himself a double, but Best Player comes in, cleans up shop, but you can see Melon has the damage as Best Player takes, oh my goodness, he's just able to make it out by the slightest bit of HP.
Yeah, I mean, it's back and forth, 2 for 2 right now. Big snipe shot, Zia takes him out, finds Merciless, it's huge. And just when it looked even, BTK comes out on top of that match.
Oh my goodness, BTK able to turn it around even though they're not the ones that initiate the fight. It is looking good for BTK, but they don't have the towers though. The mid lane tier 1 is gone, so that means their jungle is wide open, and now they turn their attention towards the Lord.
Let's take a look at the gold, though. Melon, 10.5k. Zia still sitting at 8.5, but that does feel like enough, especially with a sniper in his hand.
Oh, yeah, but you can see Retribution on point as well. And here comes through the rest of Vendetta. They get the arrow on top of Yato, but right now you can see the back line. They get the kill on towards home with the Oki shadow kill. Kush finds his mark, finally gets his first kill on the board, as right now Chicken will have to go away with the AOG.
Yeah, so they get the Lord, they lose Hoon. I mean, Chicken's doing a great job at locking down onto Melon as well, but they just can't seem to get the kill onto Melon. They got to drop some of the defense stats on this Kimmy, because it makes zero freaking sense.
Oh my god, Shark goes for the flicker plan, they catch Kush off guard, and right now Yato comes in, but too little too late, he got the memo, and you can see right now Melon is there, he's going to be the target, the Lord is already taken down, and now BTK stand tall, and they have a little more breathing room to play around with.
Yeah, even though Vendetta's putting up a fight, it does feel like the map is consistently pushing in on them. BTK continues to win the fights that matter, right? Yes, Vendetta comes out on top here, and then wait a second, Merciless, a little too deep.
No, yeah, I don't know what he was thinking right there. He wasted the flicker, and he was trying to take down Zia, but I think he was just able to dash out of harm's way.
I mean, they're hunting, both teams, and they're comfortable with it. I mean, yeah, waste the flicker, but still at least creates a little bit of space. Another tower might go down here. I think this is important for Vendetta to try to save this one, especially before this Lord, since it's on opposite side of the map.
Yeah, it is going. They got to play that far lane. They got to make sure they have some sort of wave presence. They have that wave clear. They need to have map pressure on their side, because the way Vendetta have played it out in the early game wasn't the best. The mid game, they really did well, caught up in terms of gold. But now again, 14 minutes in, BTK have the gold lead. Although it's not a lot, they definitely have the items to back it up. So now, without the mid lane stand-in for both teams, tier 1 down for BTK, tier 1 and 2 down for Vendetta. I think Vendetta must pick their fights wisely.
Yeah, not only that, Best Player just locked in BOD. Pretty sure he's about max item down now. And Best Player's approaching these fights a little bit differently. About 2 or 3 fights ago, back in the mid lane when Vendetta took that mid tier 3 tower, but BTK still kind of ended up winning out. Best Player waited. He wasn't the first one to jump in. He let Vendetta use up some of their skills, get a little bit of low health, and then Best Player comes in, and look at him now, taking the angle, not the front line. He wants to be the assassin, he wants to be the cleanup, and I think that is the way to approach these fights.
Yeah, I think that speaks confidence as well, right, for BTK and Best Player. But right now he gets caught up, fist break, fist crack combo, and you can see right now Melon is there. He has the maximum charge used up as well, and now BTK will have to disperse, but you can see the AOG coming through from Yato. He's able to immune that, as Best Player is going to be the target, has the soul server. He gets the kill on towards Yato, but gets shut down, and now that's a kill in the hands of Melon, as he is legendary indeed. BTK will have to back off just 10 seconds before the turtle. No jungler, advantage Vendetta.
Yeah, that is value right there. 30 seconds till you have a retry on the board. Vendetta gonna try to rush this. Will BTK try to stop him, though? Maybe go for the steal. They're aggressive team. I think they will.
Oh, you can see the arrow landing on towards T as well. Kush has to back off because Chicken is right there. Lord about half HP, 20,000. They're looking to reset, but he goes for the play. Merciless on the back line. Glorious Pathways time as well. Bennett rage to make that, create that separation. Retribution misses out. Shark gets the Lord, and they get Kush as well. They trade only Chicken for Kush, and they get the Lord in their favor. Zia finds himself a double, and now T and Melon are in no man's land. T, what are you doing? He gets a triple in the hands of the Zia. BTK show up, and now Melon will have to run away because best player is there to clean up shop as Melon gets the kill. No, he gets shut down, and Yato goes down as well. A 5-man wipeout as BTK are looking to take game number 1 in the best of 5 in the semifinal.
Welcome to the realm of the kings. Just when Vendetta thought they had it, BTK steals it from him. No jungler, no problem. Shark steals the Lord and gets the kill. An insane finish to game number 1.
One misstep and it flipped the whole game, right? Just one misstep, all it took. I think Vendetta rushed that Lord towards the end. If they took their time, got the space that they needed, it would have been a completely different story. But that's where BTK, their experience comes into play. They know when to press down. They know when to go aggressive. And that really showed up in their side.
Yeah, that was tough, man. You know what I think? I mean, when I'm looking at the stat blocks and I'm looking at everything, Melon did a great job, but it just wasn't enough. I think Yato made a few mistakes there, possibly. The rest of the team just wasn't able to keep up. Kush was trying to dive into the back line, but just wasn't able to secure those kills onto Zia like he needed to. Wasn't able to secure those kills onto Hoon like he needed to. And BTK was able to consistently show up. Fly Chicken and Shark just taunting onto Kush, stopping him from being able to secure a clean retry, stealing the last Lord. I mean, BTK, when it comes down to crunch time, they crunch.
They crunched, and they crunched hard, and at this point, feels like Vendetta really need to shake it off, because by no means did they play a bad game. It was a brilliant game. It was fantastic. It's just towards the end, one small misstep, one miscalculation, and then BTK are just that good to not let it go. So at this point, I feel like Vendetta need to find an answer, because Melon played brilliant on that Kimmy, right? It just took one small opening that BTK needed, and then they just exposed the wound.
That was tough, man. But I mean, the good thing is it was a great game. I think that's just game 1, man. That's just game 1. I think we got a good series ahead of us. A lot of possibilities. It went back and forth. It was down the line right there. But Vendetta's going to have to be able to push a little bit farther, because that's, I mean, knowing BTK, that is where they have always thrived, in those high pressure situations. Taking a look at the game, BTK starts off great. We're looking at 4-0 in the first 4.5 minutes, and this is a point where we do start to see Melon pop off a little bit. We start to see the possibilities. He secures the double kill here, and I mean, just continues to be relentless. Another double kill. He's 6-0 at 10 minutes in. And this is when we're biting our nails. We're wondering, oh man, is Vendetta going to be able to take this back? But the big thing about BTK is they continue to have map control. They take the top 2 towers. They continue to keep pressure everywhere across the map. And every single player was on point. And this is where we're at first Lord. And I think this is the moment where Vendetta really kind of kicks the bucket almost. It's a problem. They get the trade up. They're almost able to turn this into Lord. They decide to go for the rush. Was that a bad call, or did they just perform it wrong? That's the question on all of our minds.
I think they just played it wrong at that point, right? There was a right call. I think the positioning of T as well as Merciless was just not there. They were not at the right place at the right time. That kind of created the difference. And having Kush clear out the Lord and a lot of pressure coming through with Chicken just being around him, he had to make sure he was able to get out with the quad shadow. And the next thing you know, he just didn't get his hands on the Lord. And let's be honest, did you really think Shark would get the Lord?
No. I thought for sure Kush was gonna land the retry, man. I was like, oh yeah, they're good. Fly Chicken actually jumped into that pit like immediately, like he jumps in. I see the taunt come on. I see the taunt, the little taunt pop over the head. I'm like, man, this could be a hard time for Kush. I'm like, okay. And like you said, Merciless instead of someone hanging out back with Kush, whether it's Merciless, whether it's T, they go forward to try to push the rest of BTK back. But while that's happening, Shark and Fried Chicken are just over here jumping Kush on the Lord pit, and it's a tough time, and Shark's able to steal the Lord, and at that point, because Vendetta's so split up, because Merciless pushes so far forward, it just causes trouble, and then Zia's kiting so well. I think the moment that Lord was gone, Vendetta had to back off, but it was too little, too late. Now we're into game 2, BTK up 1 in a best-of-5, Vendetta on the blue side.
Yeah, and I think not just that, right? Just tracking back to what you said, Merciless dove in too forward, but that wasn't the only time he did that. He did that earlier as well, around in the mid lane towards the inhibitor, where he dove in a little too deep, and then next thing you know, he flickered out. He had the flicker at that point, but this was a crucial factor that he dove in too deep, and then they just paid the price because of that one small mistake. So BTK, being the veterans they are, they could probably use that to their advantage, that small info.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing that we got to point out now is the Selena ban comes in from VTA here. They are on blue side, so they have some more opportunity to target ban. This is when you can really send those things in, because you're going to get first pick, right? You're going to be able to do what you need to do. BTK, on the other end, has to kind of decide what meta picks are we going to ban out? What do we not want to give to Vendetta no matter what?
I think they probably should not give... Kimmy first pick is not worth it, I think, because you can get countered, especially if the Hayabusa and the Joy is kind of left open.
Yeah.
So, and then you have... Yes, the Suyo is something that you want to force on towards best player, because, yes, best player is playing it really good, but I'd rather... If I'm facing against best player, I'd rather him have the Suyo than the Fanny or the Hayabusa or, some of the... or the Joy. So that definitely should be the plan of Vendetta, but they ban out the Kimmy instead.
Yeah, and this gives them now, since they know we don't want Kimmy up front, right? Like what you just said. So we don't want them to have it. We don't want to be forced into picking a Suyo or a Hayabusa just to steal it. So with the Kimmy gone, it gives them a little bit of playability to maybe, yes, this time we can steal this, because we're not going to give you Zia Kimmy, right? We don't want to pick it up front, but we also don't want to give it to you paired up with some other monstrous pick. So I think it's a solid ban on their side, especially since they're looking for something else on this first pick.
Yeah, they probably want like the Gatot. I think that's what Vendetta are looking for as well. The Gatot's been a really hot pick, so picking that up would be good. The Harriet is still open. The Hayabusa is still left open. That could be good as well. Kush didn't play it bad at all. It's just that there was definitely miscommunication coming out from the team, from what we could see, right? At least. And now the Jawhead being banned out, making sure they don't have that aggressive early game in the favor of BTK, and of course respecting that Selena as well. So now Shark, are they still gonna let the Kalea through? Because the Kalea is open, the Hayabusa is open. Valentina, I like that.
For Yata. Yeah, I mean, and what it does is you leave a lot of things open, but you also target ban. So it's like both teams have some options, and this is what we want to see. This is what you normally see in a grand finals types match, where the super meta bans are like left off the table, and it's like, fine, we'll just leave all that stuff open, have a free for all, see who can get the better counter plays, and that's a great spot to be in at only game 2 between these two teams.
Yeah, I think... Oh, but guess what? They leave open the Jushin, so it's being picked up by Yato, of course, at this point. And Phoveus is one I was looking for, because Phoveus is a really strong pick, and that allows BTK to play that front-to-back composition as well.
Yeah, so do we think that they lock in the Hayabusa here right away? After last game, I feel like they're confident, right? Even if they give over the Hayabusa, they feel they take it. I was going to say they feel confident with the Suyo, but nah, we want to be even more confident. We take in the Hayabusa. VTA, do they just now lock in the Suyo as the response, keep themselves? Yes, they do. And now maybe a nice roamer to give him a good time could be a possibility. Or the Harris.
I think... No, I don't think the Harriet is good here. Probably go for a Cho would be really good if they could get that early. Or even the Franco.
Right now.
Yeah, Franco
for T,
looks really
we
good.
saw last time.
Yeah,
could
Franco
definitely
looks
be a possibility.
Because I can smell BTK picking up a Farsa right now. So, because the Farsa is really good to counter against the Jushin as well. You do well against the Suyo. So right now, they got to go for a lockdown, and they get that Kalea. That's good.
Yeah. I think that's more of like, we don't want to let Shark get this pick. So at least it keeps us safe. I think, yes, the Franco would have been good, but the Kalea at least denies something from BTK as well. Once again, BTK gets this Gatot, which has just been a menace in the land of Dawn. And not only that, it is flexible. It gives them opportunity. Shark can play it. Chicken can... Actually, no, they already have the Fovea, so it's not flexible. They're locked in with it.
Yeah, they're locked in indeed, as right now we go in the second phase, so they can't really flex that Roam EXP. I think they'll be looking to take away a lot more EXP laners now that I look at it. Yes, the Esmeralda is going to go off the table. That means they're looking to play the Hereth on their side. So a Hereth's got to come out from Vendetta as Ben, right?
I mean, it's definitely a possibility, especially since BTK's first pick. Hereth could be taken out. We could just really try to limit down the pool. But they need a gold laner as well, right? They need something to put into their own pocket, so you don't want to take too much away. And it seems like they are going to go for mid lane as well. Take out Hoon. Hoon's been loving these long-range mages. Novaria definitely hasn't been something we've seen, but I'm not counting it out of the realm of possibility as something Hoon could pull up with.
Novaria is good here, not gonna lie. Like that's good. That's why it was banned out as well. So definitely, Novaria is a great ban, because if they had Novaria on their side, I don't see how Vendetta could get anywhere close to the Novaria unless they pick up a Claude or even a Yuzhong. So that's there. But right now, another EXP event should be coming through. Maybe the glue gotta be respected because it's way too tanky. Just changing the skills. The grab is just gonna be a big menace in the Land of Dawn for BTK. And now Vendetta looking to choke out another mid Hereth. Yeah, had to be the Hereth.
So do we think we see the Farza pick up from BTK here immediately? And then if they do, VTA, since they didn't ban it, do they pick up something, you know, do they pick up an EXP laner to count it? Maybe something like the Lapu, something crazy, you know, get a little spicy. A lot of possibilities on the map here, Kronos. Ooh.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of no. I'm not a fan of the 1-1 here. I mean, I get the point. You got that skill to purify against the Kalea, but you're still getting outranged by the Jushin. So I'm not really sure if it's the best pick, but because even Vendetta could pick up the Irithel right now, but they lock in the Franco on the.
So EXP lane Kalea, Franco still comes in. He juked us a little bit. He juked BTK a little bit, and then you get the Beatrix. Now I agree with you with the Wanwan. I don't think it can. You could work it against some teams, but Vendetta aren't slouches. I don't like. It's going to take a while for that Wanwan to really be able to do something.
Sicilian?
Sicilian?
Oh,
Yeeve's solid too. Yeeve is solid too. Especially you have the AOG, you have the Phobius, you have heroes that can hold people in a little bit longer and just fight in that box.
Yeah, BTK are looking strong again for level 4 in the Turtle Pit, right? They want these neutral objectives. They look so strong in these neutral objectives. On the other side, they have the pick-off again with this Franco. You have the wombo combo with the Franco and the Beatrix. Yes, you have, again, Beatrix with the Kalea. So it's good combos for Vendetta, but that team fight capability for BTK just looks scary.
Yeah, I feel like BTK brings in this big team fight composition. You have the damage, you have the ability. VTA, on the other hand, you have some big play potential to turn the tide. You have something like the Franco that can one hook could change the game, right? One big tsunami slam could change the game. One good snipe shot could change the game. So VTA looking for those moments of brilliance here, but they got to be able to pull it off.
Yeah, it all comes down to the early game, especially the first 2 minutes, if I'm not wrong. If Merciless has a good lane in the game, in the EXP side, and is able to control Chicken, then definitely VTA will have a good opportunity, a good chance to fight it out, because we go into game number 2 in this best of 5. Already one game in the hands of BTK.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I want to see how Hoon and Shark play this mid game. Last time Yato had a little bit of trouble along with T in the mid side, but this time look at T. He's the one getting aggressive. He's the one invading, and that's kind of what you want to see from them if they're going to try to be able to keep up in the early phase here.
Yeah, they gotta be able to keep up as well, because you can see the comms from BTK are gonna be cleaner compared to from the ones from Vendetta, right? Yeah, all because they're in the same room. They got boot camp going in. They definitely took this a lot more seriously. Not like Vendetta did take it, but oh my God, T.
The cheese delay is there. That's what we like to see. And I mean, little things like that could make the difference. Try to get Kush a little bit ahead as much as you can. It already feels like a slightly different rotation from BTK, slightly slower, but that could change at any moment.
Yeah, and I think if T keeps it up as well, right, it's gonna get it's gonna get in best player's head. He's gonna get a bit tilted, and at this point, like you mentioned, every second will count just before this first turtle. And BTK with their clean rotations, if they're late by a second, with the way Vendetta have been playing, it could prove to be dangerous.
Yeah, in last game we saw BTK get that first blood very early on. They were able to take out Kush. He walked right into the bush. So this time with Vendetta playing a little bit safer, they're ready for first turtle this time. They're ready to try to take the fight. Look at the rotation though from Fried Chicken. He's coming up as well. Where on the map is Merciless right now, sitting in the mid-river, so it's going to be a big 4v4.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a 4v4. Level 4 looking strong for BTK. Shark and Chicken going through. As you can see right now, Infernal Pursuit comes out. Kush is going to be the target, but at the same time, Yato in the back line has the Lantern, and Chicken going on top of Kush. He's not able to do anything, but right now he goes to the quad shadow. Ogi shadow kill as best player one picks up a kill, and now Chicken, relentless Infernal Pursuit on top of Kush, finally gets that kill as well.
Yeah, the Inferno, I mean, that was a... Chicken's already looking like a problem. He's already cooking, able to push Kush back. And with that, Vendetta knows, okay, maybe this isn't our time to shine. We're going to have to do what we did last time and bide some time. Whereas BTK, on the other hand, you got to kill into the hands of best player. You got to kill into the hands of Fried Chicken. It is comfy for them.
Yeah, it's looking comfy for BTK. And I think if you ask me, that level 4, we already saw that coming through from their side, right? So it's looking really, really comfortable with the way that it's working out. The plan is coming to fruition for BTK, especially that first turtle. We knew they were strong. I mentioned it a couple times before as well during the draft, before the game started. And it shows why. They draft for that first turtle.
I mean, there was also a little bit of, like, T, if we watched that last turtle fight, he was walking up, and for me, I'm watching for him. I'm looking for that hook, right? I'm looking for that moment to maybe, pull someone away, change the tide of the fight a little bit. And he took some damage, and then he just kind of backed off. And I think with that, Kush had no support. The rest of the team had no support. And the tide immediately flips onto Vendetta. So I know with the Franco, you're not exactly a diver, but you still have to be there as a tank, right? You still have to be someone, and he didn't have level 4 yet, so it was a tough spot for him. But we definitely got to see some more from him, because that's the big cheese pick, right? That's the pick that's supposed to be the game changer here.
Yeah, and feel like it can be, especially because we seen yesterday T was landing those hooks, right? And the Bloody Hunt, if he gets that on point, definitely best player's not going to have a good time, because right now they're invading in towards the purple buff, and now you have Shark on the orange buff side as well. So definitely breathing down the neck of Kush just like they did in the previous game, and now a Grand Theft purple coming through.
Purple's gone. This is looking rough for Kush, taking that death early on, losing some of your jungle. BTK pushing him back. Melon, though. I mean, last time we saw Melon pick up the pieces and almost save the game. He's still holding his own against Zia. It's level 5 to level 5. T gonna hang out down here. If they could get a pick off onto Zia, it could be huge for Vendetta.
Yeah, they need to get a pick off on Zia, right? They have to find it, especially given the fact that he has 1-1. He can be kiting around ever so beautifully with those. And then has the with that Inspire, and then has the crossbow of Tang, and could get some airtime as much as he needs. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you have no way to make a comeback. So Vendetta really needs to prioritize ganking around the gold lane for this mid game.
And it's tough because with Zia winning lane like this, he's going to be involved in these fights. Look at the way he's rotating up top, just making sure that Vendetta, like, they can't even force this fight right now. Melon's the boss side, T walking into it.
Oh my god.
What is going on?
Yeah, T just walked into a quad shadow, and then all of a sudden they got an Ogi shadow kill, and he couldn't really do anything at that point. So looking grim if you're Vendetta at this moment.
Yeah, this is a bad spot. At this point, Melon's got to give up the tower. This is probably going to be first tower taken for BTK. There's no way they can really answer it, and Melon in trouble.
Nice flicker to make it out as well. So Melon was able to survive, but that means he just softened up for a bigger blow later on from BTK. So at this point, BTK looking like it's a steamroll, right? It's looking like a nice a big bullet train coming through. There's no way to stop it. Vendetta really needs to find answers because this Franco pick is really not working out.
Yeah, it's definitely rough, and with T making these small mistakes, it's getting worse and worse, because at this point, if you fall behind too much with those roam boots, you're not getting any gold, and even if you get the bloody hunt, you just get shredded down by the rest of the team, right? BTK just jumps on you. The moment you throw out that hook, BTK's following in on that teammate, and when you hit the bloody hunt, yes, you stun them, but you're also standing still doing nothing for a few seconds, and when you don't have the tank items, you get taken out quick, so it's becoming troublesome. At this point, Vendetta has to bide time. They can no longer fight in the early game.
Yeah, the early game is done. Now in the mid game, I don't even know if they can fight towards the mid game as well, just because of the fact that, like you mentioned, yes, you can use the Bloody Hunt, but you need that Winter Crown. You need that in-target ability so that you're not so that ult doesn't get canceled. And who are you really going to lock down on towards? You don't have the items to burst anyone down. You need that Beatrix to get the items to be able to one-shot someone, especially in the midst of a team fight. And with the way Kush has been pressured by Shark as well as Chicken, and then you have Best Player invading into the jungle, there's definitely going to be hard if you are Vendetta right now.
Okay, so back into the game, making sure we have a fair playing experience for everyone. Look at the kick.
Oh my god, nice coming through as well, but you can see at the same time they go in, quad shadow, Ogi, shadow kill could come through, but Best Player just makes it out. Hoon with the RWM used as well. This could be a good time for Vendetta to go in towards the turtle pit, because there's not a lot of ultimates present in the side of BTK. Yato is there with that lantern, dropping it down. Beacon not used just yet. We can see Merciless is the target. Infernal Pursuit comes out from Chicken. Shark pops in that revitalizes. They get their hands on the turtle, and now T's going to be the target. AOG into the back line. As you can see, Kush goes down, and now Vendetta will have to back off.
The Jushin has been a great pick for a lot of teams, but it just doesn't feel the same seeing Yato on such a passive mid laner, right? Like, I know the Jushin does good damage, but it just feels kind of weird. Melon just wastes an ult. I mean, I know he's calling for that possible engage. He's keeping himself safe, but Vendetta just seems to be having trouble finding these good moments in game number 2.
Yeah, Vendetta needs to find that moment. Just one team fight, right? One good team fight and can flip the script. Yes, they're down by about 4.4k gold, but still, with the picks that they have, they can make it happen. It is possible. Once this Beatrix gets the item, the good part is that Melon hasn't gone down a single time. And maybe when we take a look at the gold, we'll see the goal difference, but definitely Vendetta have the ability to make that comeback.
Yeah, there's always a possibility, right? And taking a look at the gold, we're looking at almost 1,000. Nice hook, though.
Oh, no. Chicken gets the Tsunami Slam, and then the hook with the Bloody Hunt as well, and that's the tilting point for them right now. But meanwhile, the mid lane, Yato is going to be the target, as a Melon already got taken down. Crossbow of Tang not unlocked yet. Zia just popped in the Inspire to make sure he could get that kill and get out of harm's way. Hook misses, as Kush is just completely disconnected in these fights. And that should be, they should find a way to try to connect him back so that it can be good news for Vendetta.
Yeah, BTK finds an answer, right? They lose Chicken up top, but they immediately bite back and find one of Vendetta to even the playing field. And not only that, but take more control over the map. Vendetta still unable to take a single tower, still unable to really even get their minions onto Bloodthirsty King's side of the map. The map is red right now. River control is red right now. Turtle control is red right now. Vendetta just having trouble. T, I think that was the first hook he landed all game so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you count the buff, it's probably the second one, right? But right now, BTK go through. Menace Rage comes in as well, right? Nice Tsunami Slam. RWM drop down from home as they try to get that tier 1 in the mid lane. Shark makes it out, but you can see Kush is going to be the target. Has a Soul Saver on towards him. Nibiru's passion from Melon to pick up a kill on towards Best Player 1, but double kill in the hands of Zia. 4-0-1 on a 1-1, and still hasn't used the Crossbow of Tang yet.
Yeah, Zia's popping off right now. Zia's making moves happen. He's shaking. It's 4-0-1. He's got the DHS and he's got the Crows inside. He's working on to the next one. Melon just got his BOD in, which is an expensive item, and that's why, I mean, it's gonna take time for him to get online, but it might be too much time, especially with the fact that we just got we just got more range onto Zia. He's comfy. He's confident. It's gonna be a tough hero to catch.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough hero to catch, given the fact that he has an inbuilt Purify. So the only one that could catch is T. He has to flicker for it as well. So They need to find an opening, and Vendetta, I'm not really sure who's going to provide that, to be honest. They got to play off the hooks, and if T's not able to hook anyone, it's going to be difficult for Vendetta to even make any sort of play.
Yeah, I think first things first, Vendetta has, like, before they can even take a full 5v5, they would have to take out Shark, or they would have to take out, they have to make it a 5v4. Because they can't just run in there. There's no, Zia's going to get free shots all day long. So unless they're able to kind of break down that front wall a little bit, there's just no way. And then if they do full dive, best players in the back line taking out Melon and Yato.
Yeah, that's true. If best player, you got to watch out for different angles as well. So you're not wrong. Looks like Vendetta have a lot on their plate. So at the moment, with BTK breathing down their necks, and now they go for the AOG along with a nice RWM as well. Good play, good shot call coming through from BTK as they catch two off guard completely, using the edge of the RWM as a mini stun, and then following that up with the AOG.
That was disgusting. They thought they were safe. They thought they were good. Two members taken out right before Lord comes up. Vendetta's in pieces right now.
Yeah, they're not looking good. That was a big brain play. That was 5-head play right there. Hoon with Shark, and oh my god. You usually don't get to see such plays happen unless and until you know the mechanics of the hero. You know these players are veterans. They've seen the ins and outs of Mobile Legends Bang Bang completely. As you can see, it's working out towards their favor. And now with the fight against Vendetta as well, you can see they go in with that Tsunami Slam. Shark gets taken down, but the re-engage from BTK. Hoon drops down the RWM, and Chicken is absolutely relentless with that Infernal Pursuit. Immortality's pop, but here comes Zia. He could go in with the crossbow of Tang. Inspire not used just yet, but you can see nice coming through from T with that bloody hunt as he gets taken down indeed, and Chicken will go down. Yato's gonna be the target. He flickers out, but still shut down in the hands of Zia.
Melon misses the snipe shot as well. It could have been the thing to turn the tables. He's not able to show up when needed. Yato did everything he could, and man, he did a great job. He finds 2 kills while getting bullied under the tower, but BTK continues to be relentless, and any small mistake, BTK is going to take advantage of.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Lord is marching on the bot side. Holy Shields are present in both the mid and towards the bot side, so they should be able to clear that quite easily. Quad Shadow from best player trying to find the target, but the rest of Vendetta are grouped up, so they will have to call it a day. Back off, got what they came for, and now just slowing the pace down for the game because they have 9K goal lead. Whew.
Yeah, that's a lot right now. Most of that being into the hands of Zia as well. And Franco another AOG.
Yeah, Shark goes in. You can see right now best player looking for the flank angle. Nice RWM drop down once again, but they got the Tsunami Slam on top of best player, so they find their mark. And now Vendetta, any kill on their side is good because they get some money in their pocket, and that they are finding ways to make the comeback.
Yeah, they're not being as aggressive. They're hanging out there. They're pulling back. They're letting BTK overextend a bit. And if BTK keeps doing that, making those small mistakes, they're leaving a road open for Vendetta to tie up the playing field. And this is what Vendetta needs to do. They just need to chill. They just need to hang out. They need to wait. I don't even know if they want to fight for this next Lord, honestly. It's still a 7K gold lead for BTK. There's still so much damage, so much range, and so many boxes to check that it's just tough for Vendetta. But T looks for the hook.
Oh my god, you can see it right now. They rain down fire on top of Zia, and they get the chain CC as well. They use the Tsunami Slam along with that hook. So now it worked out. You can see RWM drop down as that is a Hail Mary attempt to try and make sure Chicken gets out of harm's way. So BTK covering their losses, making sure they don't lose a lot more than they should.
Zia will not be hanging out in any bushes by himself anymore. He will not be roaming the streets by himself anymore. He's got to stay behind the boys because Vendetta just found the answer to that Purify, right? It might take 2 skills. It might take a hook and a Tsunami Slam, but there is a way to get past the Purify.
Hey, they get the Lord. Again, we've seen this happen. This is going to be deja vu because Kush is going to be the target. He gets the Retribution this time, though, but you can see the AOG landing as they get their Winter Crown on top of him as well. But here comes the Tsunami Slam. Merciless gets Shark, and now the fight has been dispersed, but best players looking for their target. Merciless as well as T, but they want to catch Yato. Crimson Beacon comes up, but that's a nice title strike as well. As best player doesn't get the kill, Zia comes into the fray, but the Lord is going to be the target as Hoon finds the kill with the RWM once more as Merciless didn't have that flicker.
That was clutch. Kush, he might have missed the retry last time, but he pulls it off this time. And though they lose 2 members, they do find Fried Chicken. And I feel like with the fact that Vendetta just needs to buy time, that is a win in their book. They still have all 3 inhibitors. It's still very possible for them to fight for another Lord here. The scales are slowly evening out. We're getting closer to endgame, and we still got us a game, boys.
Yeah, we still have a game indeed. Now the goal deficit's about 5K. It was about 9K at that point around the 10th minute mark. And now 13 minutes, 30 seconds in. Ooh, T almost got that hook. Shark was playing with fire right there.
I mean, I got to point out to Yato here, man. He has been, now that he's finally comfortable, he's really been able to make some plays happen. He's been able to get out of sticky situations, you know, be aggressive, kite, but on the other foot, Hoon as well, 2-0-10. He's never too early with the RWMs. He always almost uses them as a catcher, as a net. When Vendetta's trying to run away, that's when he pulls it out, and that's when they're able to get those, you know, that final kill in. That final thing to put it back into BTK's hands in a fight. He's timing them so well.
Yeah, he's definitely timing them well, and he's able to garner the attention of at least 2 members of BTK, right? That goes to show that it's a little less pressure on somebody else, and that somebody else is Melon as well as Kush. Because right now, that's what they need. They need the space to work with so that it could work out for them. So Yato's absorbing the brunt of most of the pressure to make sure the rest of his teammates are able to excel. And at this point, BTK, although they have control for most part of the game, the map is red. They have about a 6K goal lead in their favor, 45 seconds until the Lord. They have the map control. So definitely that one factor could still be a boost towards Vendetta's capability or ability to win.
Yeah, Melon did just lock in Wind of Nature. Going to give him a little bit more time to fight, but he needs to start landing these ultimates. We saw Anubiru's Passion miss earlier. We're just seeing him not really lock in these skills and output the damage that he needs to. And though Vendetta is kind of winning out on some small fights, BTK is still very much in the advantage here. We saw it earlier. They were just able to hijack that purple buff, and Vendetta knew that they could do nothing about it. The only thing keeping Vendetta in this game is the fact that they know this. The fact that they know they're not overextending, they're not fighting for that purple when it's getting stolen, they're still playing it safe.
Yeah, they're definitely playing it safe right now. As you can see, Shark and Chicken doing their jobs, making sure that best player can secure the turtle, or the Lord rather, and now they get the Lord in their favor. 15 minutes in, and seems like Vendetta need to find answers, need to find a pickoff.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that's been helping them. They got that pick off on Azia earlier. I think it was a good play not going for the Lord. If they didn't have any inhibitors or they were down 1 or 2 inhibitors, then that might have been a make or break Lord. But they may be able to still defend this push as long as they play it smart. And then we're getting into real endgame territory. BTK, on the other hand, this might be time for them to try to close this out, man. Or at least, they need to at least take 2 inhibitors, which they shouldn't have a problem doing. If they can crack the whole base, that's huge for them coming up on next Lord. But it's getting into game time. It's getting into soon. Gold's just going to be tied all around, and I don't think BTK wants that.
Yeah, at this point, the Lord is marching down the bot side. BTK looking to end it all. As you can see, Hoon is there in the back line as well for BTK. Has the RW drop down, but he goes for the Ogi Shadow kill. A best player one looking for his target. Not there just yet. They find the inhibitor on the bot side. The minions are not being synced, so that's some good news for Vendetta. A little bit more breathing room, and now BTK looking to take down the mid lane. Quad Shadow once again. Shark gets the taunt. RWM drop down. He's going to be the target. Witcher Crown comes through, but nice knock-up as they go for the nice Tsunami Slam, but doesn't catch anyone. And at this point, with that beacon and the lantern flare, Winter Crown popped as well. Best player one in the back line, as Chicken will survive still with the help of the immortality. Killing spree in the hands of Melon. 3-2-3, and Yato still survives. How are they able to do it? They still defend.
Yato is holding down hard right now, but AOG coming in.
Oh my god, you can see again the target's gonna be Yato. He gets taken down. 4 still standing tall for the side of BTK. Kush is there. He's looking to take down Shark as well as Zia, but they have the immortality. Melon is alive. Best player one connects to the Quad Shadow as they're trying to go in. Shark's immortality popped once more. Vendetta still live to fight another day. It's not over until it's over.
They bide enough time for another big push. They bide enough time for another big chance. If they lose this, we're looking at match point for BTK. Vendetta can't let that happen. That is a tough spot to be. That is a reverse sweep, all or nothing situation. But BTK wasn't able to get the finish there, and this is the big worry, right? Another 30 seconds till next Lord. We're getting close to endgame. Taking a look at the items, Kush is maxed out. Everyone on the side of BTK is matched out. Melon finally gets in his Hunter Strike, and Yato also looking to close the deal. Is this going to be enough, though, for Vendetta to contest this Lord? Because I feel like at this point, they have to contest this Lord.
Yeah, I feel like Vendetta definitely needs to contest this Lord because it's about 18 minutes plus. It's going to be that level 3 Lord that's looking shiny and nice, golden. And this Lord could change the game. They just got to steal it and make sure they survive, and it could change the game completely if you're Vendetta. But BTK realized that they're looking for the pickoff indeed. Look at Best Players 1's positioning.
Oh. I'm waiting for the big AOG from Shark. That's what they really got to watch out for, too. Any possibility. Kush hanging out in this tri-bush, looking for the angle in.
Goes for the Tsunami Slam, but there's the Winter Crown popped in as well. As you can see, the RWM has dropped down. Best player going to the back line. Kush is taken down low. AOG come through from Shark. He catches 2, and now Melon is there trying to melt him down as Merciless is the first one to fall down. As Fried Chicken goes on top of him. Infernal Pursuit is there as Melon flickers out of harm's way. Immortality is popped. They get Yato as well in the process, and now a shutdown on towards Melon. Best player secures the Lord as T's going to be the next on the chopping block. Kush taken down low. T is next as well. BTK looking for the hunt as they find 4 and now take the base crystal. Game number 2, match point on the side of the Bloodthirsty Kings.
A clean and precise finish for game number 2. BTK, I mean, even in that last fight there, man, the back and forth, the ability to know once they had the fight, we're going to go back and make sure Kush doesn't get the steal, because Kush was hunting for it. Kush, when the rest of his team was getting annihilated, he was still sitting by the Lord looking for the possible retry to turn the tables, and that might have been the big mistake, because once Melon got cornered by Chicken, there was no way out. You're just getting boxed, you're getting punched, you're getting knocked out in the face, and that was it for VTA. It's match point now for BTK.
Match point. Are they going to go undefeated and towards the final just like Area 77 did? Because with the way that they're playing, it's not that Vendetta are playing bad, it's just BTK are playing a lot cleaner because they got 21 kills to their favor. Vendetta had 8, and BTK's best player just brings a different side of the rest of the 4 with the fact that he can flank from the side. And then you have Zia, who's been popping off with Hoon making plays at 92,000 damage dealt on a Eve. God. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And I mean, and that's the thing about the Eve is it's not like a super exciting hero, right? Like, it's hard to see that damage racking up. But as I mentioned, those RWMs were key in so many fights, man. Every time VTA thought they had the advantage, every time they steal a kill away, Hoons traps him in an RWM and then makes sure that his team gets 2 kills. Almost every time he dropped a big RWM, they secured at least 2 kills out of it. It was huge. It was game-changing, and it just goes to show that Hoon still got plenty of heroes up his sleeve that can be detrimental to their playstyle.
Yeah, it's definitely detrimental towards their playstyle because at the moment you got Hoon, who's like, again, he's willing to take that support role on to make sure the rest of the BTK members can shine, and feels like it's working really well because the tower damage dealt by Vendetta is basically 0. They didn't take a single tower that entire game, and that game went on for about 20 minutes plus. So that just goes to show how much in control BTK were. And even though we made it to seem like Vendetta have the option, they have the opportunity to make that comeback, yeah, looking at the stats, it speaks a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely speaks a little different. There's got to be some sort of answer here. And we're at match point. Vendetta has to play tight, right? I think overall in draft, they're looking for some answers. I do still feel like BTK is getting the better of them from start to finish. But before we get into all that, let's take a look at the replays. Early game, once again, BTK just takes control, and First Blood falls into the hands of best player, First Turtle, and they start off in the first few minutes with a several thousand gold lead. And right here, T gets the first hook of the game, pretty much. And this was, some small glimmers of hope. Yato starts to get a bit more comfortable. He gets a kill onto best player. There seems to be some slivers of light in the darkness, but it's just never enough, because just like last game, every time that Vendetta felt like they had an advantage, BTK finds more. They always seem to win up on the trades. If you take 2 kills, we find a kill in a tower. If you take a tower, we find 3 kills. It seems like they always just have the upper hand.
Yeah, BT always just 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what Vendetta were doing, but BTK were just going 3 steps forward the entire time, because they had the draft in their favor. They definitely had the gameplay as well, made the decision making and knowing when to go towards teams fight, the patience that BTK had every single time, knowing who the target is going to be. Like right here, you could see Chicken. He knew it doesn't matter if Kush is low. My target's Melon, making sure he's not allowed to be in these team fights, not allowed to play the game. And knowing that and knowing what to do, knowing your role, to the dotting your I's, crossing your T's, BTK, bloodthirsty kings for a reason.
Yeah, so my next question is, with Melon not performing as well that game, right? Fried Chicken was on him nonstop. Everyone was on him nonstop. Do we think that is the make or break it player, right? Like, if Melon doesn't have a good game, are their chances pretty much nullified? Because Yato played great in game number 2, man. He was like the one thing keeping them alive, but he wasn't a burst damage dealer. He wasn't playing the Valentina. He wasn't playing something that can really change everything at once. So Melon needs to step up, and that was a game where Zia was popping off. So it kind of goes back to how we started this whole series. You know, Melon versus Zia, I feel like whichever one is really in the driving seat can help change the tide of the battle. So do we just prio Melon's comfortability? Was the Kimmy ban last time the wrong move? It's, you know, there's a lot of things on the table to talk about, but BTK seems like either way, they're winning this out.
Yeah, they're winning the draft. They're winning the mind games as well. In terms of execution, it's working out, because by no means did Vendetta have a bad draft. It just didn't work out towards their favor, because like you mentioned, Yato had a brilliant game, because that's the Yato that we know. That's not the Yato that we saw in game number 1. Just didn't have the ability to make those big plays. But right now with Melon, you got to prioritize his comfort at this point, right? You got to make sure, you got to give something towards him, because Kush, again, the Chicken along with Shark just on top of him the entire time, he's not able to do anything, right? He did secure that Lord that we saw, but still it's looking difficult if you don't give Melon a comfort pick. At least give him a better laning phase compared to Zia, because if Zia has the better laning phase and then he gets the gold later on, definitely going to show up in team fights. It's just looking grim if you are Vendetta.
Yeah, I feel like right now Fried Chicken and Sharks are just menaces, man. And I think with the Phobius ban, the top ban, maybe they're looking at all, you know, we're looking at all this the wrong way. They need to make sure that those guys can't get to your back line. Because even in game 1, when Vendetta thought they had the game in their hands, Sharks is the one who steals it away from. Shark and Fried Chicken are on top of Kush, and it seems like they always know their objective, whether it's Kush, whether it's Melon, whether it's Yato. They're always there targeting the right person in every single fight, and that continues to be the big trouble for Vendetta.
It is trouble. I'm looking at the draft so far. Matilda, Phobius, Fanny taken off. Now on the other side, they have the Gatot, the Jawhead. Kalea is still open. Joy is still open. Hayabusa is left open. Kimi's up for grabs. So Vendetta really needs to make the choice. If I was them, I'd probably look to take out the Kalea, right? Just take away the playmaking option from the hands of Shark. Oh,
go for the
Jushin was there. Yeah, don't want to see that again.
That's fair. but the Selena's now open. There's still plenty of options for BTK here in terms of mid lane, things that they can play very well. And I think at this point too, Vendetta knows it's not just a draft thing. It is a gameplay thing, right? I think they're making more mistakes than BTK right now. BTK prios the Kimmy first pick. Probably Hayabusa going over to VTA here, take it away from best player, kind of similar to what we saw in draft 1, but instead of the Gatot, it's going to be the Kimmy.
Wow, this is nice from Vendetta. It's looking good so far. So far, we predicted it right. The Kimmy's gone on towards the side of BTK. Vendetta got the Kalea, they got the Hayabusa. The Deny coming through with the Valentina as well. That's good from BTK. They get their hands on the Lucas. Yeah, it's now. What do you think? They gotta go for a gold laner?
I mean, I think VTA, I don't know, man. I think at this point, with Kimmy gone, you play any gold laner, you're going to have a hard time no matter what. I think you need to do what BTK's been doing, secure a bulky front line. You have the Kalea now, and BTK this time didn't secure their front. They didn't secure their EXP and roamer up front. They went for more of their damage side of things. So this is your chance to maybe try to flip the script a little bit here. You could lock in gold laner, go for the Harith or something if you want. It's a possibility, or you just secure something, you know, more on the safe side. They go for the Novaria. They're pretty much playing BT. They're putting the mask on as BTK right now. Support mid. They got the Kalea. They got the Hayabusa. They're trying to play BTK right now.
Yeah, they just switched up, right? Because Hoon got himself the Valentina, and then Yato now takes away the Novaria. I mean, who's really underneath that behind that photograph, right? We don't know. For all of so right now, for all you know, it could be Moba Zane playing that Hayabusa. So at the moment. I mean, it's all jokes, guys. So at the moment, you can see the Joy being taken off, of course. But I still think the Joy would have been all right if you give it away, because you have the Hayabusa. That means they're reading that this Lucas is going to be in the EXP lane. So far, it could be slotted in the jungle EXP as well. They take away the CC. Hilda's a good ban.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think it's trying to protect the Novaria, trying to protect the Hayabusa. I think the Joy ban is also just like safety precautions, like just in case. I get that. I think the Hayabusa can beat out on the Joy, but this is BTK we're talking about, right? I mean, in the Joy, even if it's in best player sense, it can still be a menace, right? You have to catch the Joy, and I think best player could definitely be a menace on it if he wanted to. I think Fried Chicken could be a menace on it if he wanted to. So just playing it safe, I think, could be the smart idea.
Yeah, we keep forgetting that Chicken can play that Joy in the EXP as well, right? We've seen him pop it before. It's just the versatility of BTK coming into play as well. So at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if BTK went for like a Florin. Because the Florin with the Lucas is absolutely nasty. And then just get a nice EXP laner that could go and play aggressive. Maybe a Yu Zhang just to dive on top of the Novaria. And you have yourself a winning formula right there. It's game number 3. They already have 2 games in their hands. Why not go crazy? Because Vendetta's T has been going crazy with 2 Francos right now. Back to back? Really?
That's, yeah, I mean, he's going to go for it. Again, I'm not completely against it. This time, at least, you're not against Wanwan, who can just purify out of it. So the opportunity is there, but you're still very much a, you know, you're kind of a pokey comp here. But this means the Kalea, what, EXP Kalea? Once again?
Yeah, it's got to be EXP Kalea. I mean, not like the other game where we saw
jungle
Kalea in the jungle. That was just completely blown out of proportion. But I think right now they still go in with the EXP Kalea. They lock in the Rome Franco. So at this point, oh my God. That is just too beefy, boys. Right in front. They get the glute. They get themselves the Tigreal. And that's a complete like counter towards this Franco, right? He needs to buy that Winter Crown again as the first item to at least get that lockdown and the carry to top it off. Draft-wise, what you thinking, Trex?
I think BTK's draft is solid. They look like a tight formation. There's not any huge range, right? But they have the tanks to kind of handle that. We're going to see them kind of group together. Best player might go for the angles. On the side of VTA, on the other hand, Vendetta, they have a lot of options. They have a lot of ways to attack and approach these fights. You have Yato who can poke. You have Kush who can go for the back line. You have Melon to shred. I mean, they just have a lot of ways to approach it, and it might be too much. I do think in terms of versatility, I like VTA's draft, but in terms of just being straightforward and having one good job, BTK has that solid down right now.
Yeah, I think BTK just are keeping it simple, right? Just go level 4, 1 good fight, 2 good ultimates, and the next thing you know, they're coming out with a victory sign. Because I think Vendetta have a lot of ways to get that victory, but of course, only time will tell. Because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you just popped in, brace yourselves, because this is match point. BTK 2-0 in this best of 5. A ticket to the grand finals is up for grabs, and I think BTK want to close it down right now.
Yeah, can Vendetta give us a night to remember, right? But look at Shark already in Kush's face. And talking about Kush, I feel like he's had a tough time these past 2 games. Almost every other player on the team has had some moments where they really shined. Yes, we saw Kush get that one steal, but I think we really got to see more from him if Vendetta's going to win this out.
Nice flicker play coming out from Shark, baiting out the flicker from Yato early as well. And I think right now T's going to be the target. Nice Terrify from Hoon. Merciless goes through with that title strike, and now they disperse. BTK do not want to make that mistake in the early game. Best player making his way in towards Elite the Wanderer as well.
If Merciless can continue to rotate, though, ahead of Fly Chicken, it could be big, but now he might pay the price for it.
Oh, yeah, Merciless goes through, and you can see he's taken out low, but the best player with that Naruto skin, rocking his ninja way. You can see coming out the knock-up as they get first blood, and finally Kush gets something in his favor, and that is good news for Vendetta.
This is the first game in 3 that Vendetta's been able to get first blood. First game in 3 that Vendetta's even been able to put a kill on the board in the first few minutes. But now they're fighting back. Yato in a bad spot, taken out. Shark gets the kill, and more action on the bot lane, it seems.
Yeah, I think Yato is in the wrong place, the wrong time. T missing out on the hook as Chicken is able to clear the wave out. T's going to be the target. Look at BTK just corner him at this point. They're trying to make a sandwich out of this Franco, and T has no choice but to go out of harm's way, and I think T just gets taken down.
Yeah, I think it's a smart play. He doesn't waste the flicker. He'll be back in 7 seconds. It's not a big thing. I think it would have been worse to use the flicker into the top and try to run away from that. So I think it's well played.
Well played indeed so far. At least didn't give away free gold towards the side. At least a lot more assists as well. But you can see Hoon already getting the turtle started. Best player making his way in towards that turtle pit, level 4. And they're always looking strong. Merciless does have the option of making a play. Hoon is there as they get out of harm's way. And I think they're giving away this turtle towards BTK.
Merciless, though, is keeping tabs on it. Not able to get it, but at this point, let's take a look at the junglers. Level 6 to level 5. Kush still a little bit ahead, but Vendetta, I think, need to look for some play.
Shark.
Maybe on the top side here. Zia's really low.
Shark is there, but right now gets the nice implosion on towards Melon, but you can see at the same time T comes in, nice knock up along with that bloody hunt. They chain CC this Tiger to death. Oh my goodness, he was already locked out. I don't know what was the use of the Tsunami Slam right there. Insult to injury. Vendetta are out for blood.
Yeah, they're finally, I mean, it feels like this game, they have a good groove. T's landing those hooks, the hooks we didn't see him land last time. They're being a bit more patient, but who now?
Who nice IMU bloody hunt coming through as well, but Kush goes in with the Oki shadow kill. He gets the kill, and now Zia's going to be the target. He survives, but no gets taken down. And now you can see Vendetta are looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more confidence flowing in as they are able to take the game at their pace.
I mean, they're definitely, the momentum is there, but they need to turn that momentum into gold, right? They need to turn that momentum into towers, because right now, 500, 600k gold lead, I mean, 600 gold lead isn't anything too major. Taking a look at the items, we did see that Corrosion Scythe lock in for Melanie's 1, 0, and 2, and this time he has the advantage over Zia. Zia's still hunting for that first item, and 400 gold, or 600 gold isn't a lot, but in the early game, it's pretty huge.
Yeah, and the early game definitely is huge, especially when you want to build those part items, right? You could want to build, especially if you're Zia, looking to go towards either a Sky Piercer, which is about 1500 gold, and then you have a Concentrated Energy, depending on how he wants to go and which route he wants to go, because we've seen 2 different builds come through, but here the Iron Hook lands on towards Shark. They get the nice Astral Echo, but you can see they go through with the Flicker Implosion. They get 1, and they get 2. Double kill in the hands of best players. They get the split, and the grab on towards Melon, and all hell breaks loose as BTK rained down 3 kills on towards Vendetta, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, the tides are turned. But guess what? Kush might be looking for more as Hoon is there, and now he gets cornered. They're trying to make a sandwich out of him. He doesn't have the quad shadow, and it comes in with that big Tsunami Slam from Merciless as they get the turtle. BTK still have the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, even with best player taking a death early on, the damage is still insane. He knows when to strike. Same thing with Hoon, 115 a death. They were still able to burst down 2 members of Vendetta like it was nothing. So Vendetta's got to be careful in approaching these fights. Zia also is just a walking, ticking time bomb.
Yeah, Astral Echo comes through, but a nice implosion coming out from Shark. He catches 2 T as well as Merciless, but Melon is just going ham at towards the tier 1 turret in the top side, but they still get something. But you can see 1v1, Kush gets taken out by best player.
I don't know what happened down there. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall right there, a fly in the river. But Kush taking out 1v1 is huge, and it just shows that best player has the advantage right now in terms of jungle prowess. But the back and forth still happening. No towers down. We're coming into turtle number 3 soon in 60 seconds, and I feel like that's going to be the big breaking point. That's where we're going to see the tables finally heavily veer into one of these teams' favors.
Yeah, and it's just one fight. I think there's one more fight in favor of BTK and they could take it all, but Vendetta need one fight to pull it back, of course. 40 seconds until the turtle spawns. Kush is trying to get the split on towards the bot side, but you can see coming through. Best player goes in for the flash step flash combo. Okay, shadow kill, gets the kill along with the bloody hunt, so they get their target, and now Vendetta have some breathing room as the rest of BTK still dominate that river.
Yeah, this is the best we've seen Vendetta play for sure. And this is also a point where BTK is maybe getting a little too aggressive at some points, but this is a bad spot.
Nice. Merciless goes to Tsunami Slam on towards Shark. He didn't use the implosion, no flicker baited out just yet, so that could mean that this turtle fight could be big for BTK.
And T just locked in the winner crown, giving him a bit more opportunity to get aggressive. Maybe instead of just going for hooks, he can start going for, flicker bloody hunts and get in the thick of it. He has a bit more time to buy, and this is third turtle here.
Yeah, at this point, BTK already get the turtle in their hands, zoning out Vendetta completely. And meanwhile, Kush just trying to split the map as a Hayabusa should at this point.
Yeah, and doing it well. I mean, both, and then even bottom lane gets pushed a little bit. So they lose the turtle, they get a tower, they even up the top side a little bit. Definitely hanging on, but is hanging on enough? Because that seems like that's what's been Vendetta's been doing the past 3 games. Yes, they're keeping up, but they're never winning the race.
They're not able to, because BTK are just completely keeping them in check the entire time, unless T finds a really nice Tung Tung Sahur on top of one of BTK with that bloody hunt, and then next thing you know, it's gonna be 4v5, and that's when Vendetta can actually make a play. But every time he tries to go for that play, BTK have 4 members, so, sticking together. So it's going to be super hard, especially now. As you can see, he goes for the bloody hunt indeed as Kush comes through with Yogi shadow kill, but Zia makes it out alive as now Chicken finally gets a split on top of a T. And this is the opening that BTK were looking for. Vendetta found it, but Zia made it out of harm's way. Chicken is down and out. Still, Vendetta find 1 kill. And now look at the side. Kush looking to flank somebody down, but realize it's not the time. They need to convert these kills into these neutral objectives.
Big implosion!
As he goes in, and you can see right now, Kush gets taken down. The best player with that unleashing the beast, trying to take someone down, and now BTK take tier 1 in the mid lane.
That's huge. That's huge. And once again, Vendetta wins out on a team fight. They find a kill, but then BTK takes more, right? They get a kill and they get a tower, and this has just been the story back to back to back. Now, I want to take a look at Yato. I'm waiting for those meteors to start doing a little bit more damage. He hasn't even finished out a second item yet, and that's a problem when we're this far into the game. He needs to be the one who can really, make BTK second guess about these engages.
Yeah, he's got to be the one to make it happen, because at this point, otherwise it's going to be difficult for Vendetta to make anything possible, because you can see Kush goes in for that Blade of Despair, but here comes the big implosion from Shark again. Nice knock-up coming through, and Zia finds himself a double as BTK lose only Shark. And now they have the control of the Lord Pit.
It's tough, man. Every time BTK wins the trades. Yato tries to go for the steal, but it gets blocked by Fried Chicken. Fried Chicken taking a ride, but that's okay.
Yeah, and they baited out the flicker as well from Yato, and a Novari without a flicker is going to be easy pickings, especially when you have the Lord coming through for the side of BTK.
So where does Vendetta go from here? I mean, yes, their composition is pretty late game, right? They have the Novaria, they have the carry. That's what they're really looking for. BTK once again just pushing in. The gold lead's not too far ahead. We're not looking at 7-8K like we saw in the past, but I think the big problem is Zia on this Kimmy, because that late game is disgusting. Big implosion though, a lot of damage. Best player able to take out Kush. Down goes Yato as well. The tower falls. T next on the block, gets pushed back, taken out. Best player with a triple kill. It's huge for BTK, and there's still a Lord coming down the lane. So now at this point, BTK looking to try to close things out. Vendetta in a little bit of trouble here. Another tower goes down. Vendetta back against the wall. It's nothing but Merciless and Melon. Nothing but Merciless and Melon. And now Yato finally comes up, but it might not be enough. One minion to try to close it out. BTK plays it out safe, though. They back off, but they're still coming back for more as minions come down the mid side. All right, so at this point, BTK, they can take their time with this, right? They can kind of approach this a little bit differently. The gold lead has now gotten even more, and earlier I said they weren't 7K ahead. Well, now they are. It's 70 seconds on the Lord, and I think they're playing this right. We took your top inhibitor. We took down the long lane. Let's take a look at this replay, though. Shark has been on point with these implosions. I think every single one he's dropped has been at least 2 members of the enemy team. So we're coming into this. I'm wondering exactly how this is going to play out. T needs to take it, needs to kind of find the hook. He needs to find the game changer. He needs to find a way to turn the tides. But once again, is it too little too late? Because this is what we've been saying for 3 games in a row. This is what we've been saying. And now Melon in a bad spot. Best player looking for the flank. Melon going to go back to base. This is not a safe spot to be. Yato gets the vision onto the enemy team, throws out a meteor, finds a little bit of something.
Yeah, and you can see right now they go and they try to find a way. Vendetta really down by 7K goal already. And now with the Lord coming up in about 15 seconds, T looks like a sandwich being made out of him right now.
A little bit of damage. I think it's okay, though. I mean, at this point, 10 seconds. Vendetta, what do they even do here, right? I mean, can they survive another Lord push? It's only 12.5 minutes. It's not a level 3 Lord, but I think they want to try to fight this out.
Yeah, they got to, and if T's going to be the target, you see, they go for flash to flash combo. Winter Crown already baited out, but he's going to be just taken down quite easily. And I think BTK lining up for the Lord next.
All right, so at this point, Lord getting low, big catch.
Oh, nice implosion coming through as well. You can see, but they get the bloody hunt from Hoon on towards Melon as he's going to be the target. And next is Kush on the chopping block. He gets taken down. Unstoppable is Zia. They find 4. Yato's the only one left standing. Concealed play going through as well. They want to call it quits. They want to call it an end. They got the minions marching down. Yato has no possible way to defend whatsoever. BTK will move on to the grand finals of the NACT 2025 spring season.
Well done by BTK. They make it look easy. Vendetta fought. They put up the best fight we've seen against BTK so far, but still not enough. Get out your lanterns, boys, because they're taking it to the grand finals. It's huge. It's exciting, and I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it was exciting indeed, and I think BTK show why they're the favorites, right? Why they're the tournament favorites every single time, not dropping 1 game so far to make it to the grand finals. And I think, does Zia still have to prove a point? That's the big question, right?
I mean, yeah, Zia's still top dog, I think. I think Zia still got this. Melon, let's be real. Game 1, he put up a great fight, and I think, you know, Vendetta, they did their best there. Melon definitely, I still think, causing waves in the scene, but it's going to be a bit more time till you can go against the big dogs.
Yeah, I think definitely got to get more time at this point. I think they need a lot more experience as well, a lot more investment in terms of getting into the game, understanding how it works, try and get a boot camp set up, but it's definitely a step closer, right? It's a step ahead for Vendetta. Although they didn't make it to the grand finals, they did finish in the semifinals, and they had a hard bracket to get to this point as well. And if you're really going to lose out of the NACT, I think better to BTK than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hype grand finals. I'm sure we're going to talk about that soon. But, you know, earlier we saw the damage dealt score, and it's not like VTA didn't deal bad damage. And I want to point out one thing that was consistently a problem. Shark with those implosions, man. The guy was always catching 2 or 3 members. The guy was always just every time he was making a play happen, and VTA could not do anything about it.
Yeah, Shark was there's no possible way for them to stop him, right? Especially after picking up the Franco, and they pick up the Franco early as well. So and then Tigreal is basically a counter, just goes in, flicker, implosion, catches everybody off guard, and he's waiting for the perfect opportunity as well. And Shark being, I think this comes without a shadow of a doubt, the best roamer in NA. So he knows when he has to pick his moments, and picking those moments is what makes him that top roamer. And every single implosion he's landed in this game worked.
Yeah,
led to a kill.
Is that the key, right?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I think Shark, it's true, like there's gold laners like Melon looking to overtake that. There's junglers like Kush looking to overtake that. There's mages, but there's never anyone to do what Shark does. This man has continued to make world stage appearances, has continued to dominate. Look at that implosion right there. That was where they really kind of started kicking off. And this is when we knew the damage was online for BTK. And VTA just had to kind of back off. They had to kind of look for a moment. Even with T landing great bloody hunts, there was just nothing to do. And this is why, listen, I know you said Kimmy can get countered. Kimmy is first pick material, man. That's the only marksman who's getting bloody hunted and still getting away. The defense stats make 0 sense. I don't understand it. How is Kimmy always able to do this?
And not just the bloody hunt, even the Ogi shadow kill was used. Just pop that skill one and fly away. That should be illegal if you ask me. I don't know how he made that happen at that point. Energy transformation? Nuh-uh. That's just an escape skill.
It is ridiculous. It is pure insanity. No hero should be able to get away from that, let alone a marksman. But Kimmy does it with ease. A well-played victory for BTK there. And like I said, I think Shark deserves so much respect because that game was just in his hands from the start.
Yeah, he was just playing around with the opposition as well. And if I'm not wrong, has Shark made every single appearance in the international stage?
Yes. Shark actually has the most international appearances than any other NA player. Some people, if I'm wrong, I'm probably going to get attacked for that, but I'm almost positive he has the most international appearances compared to the others. Because either what would happen is, Zane doesn't make it because Shark's on another team, or this or that, or something would go on. But Shark has almost always been on the world stage. But with that, we're going to bring back our beautiful host, Liz. How you feeling after that 3-0 sweep?
We expected nothing less of BTK. We did hope for the best, hope to see some games that go to the distance, but at the end of the day, Vendetta has given it their shot, and the Kings reign supreme. So let's take a look at the MVP of this series. You guys have hyped up Shark, who has consistently been in the internationals, and he is indeed the MVP of this series with a KD of 1-11 and a match participant of 71%.
He's the one that's dictating the pace of the game, right? He's the one that's calling the shots the entire time. If he's having a good game, the rest of BTK are definitely having a good game as well. So no surprises. MVP, I wouldn't be surprised if he got MVP of the entire NACT as well. He's NA's MVP if you ask me. You gotta have Shark if you wanna make it to the international stage. He looks like the Lucky Charm.
Fair enough. The Shark, the Lucky Charm, Super Shark, Big Brother Shark, whatever you want to call him, the dude has been a monster time after time. And this is a hard VP to play because all of them played very, very well. Whenever there was a moment where one of them was faltering, whether Shark wasn't able to make the play, Fried Chicken would step up. When both of them were in the backline attacking, Zio would step up. And even Best Player, if there was any doubt about him being the jungle, the guy played amazing today, catching the 1v1 against Kush, being aggressive, getting in their face, and most of all, not choking, which is important when it's coming down to the line.
Not choke he did do, and now we have an interview with Hoon from BTK.
Hello.
Or the MVP Shark. Thank you for joining us, Shark. How are you feeling? Congratulations.
I expect the game gonna be more fun, but everyone see T the Franco be lucky every game, so I don't think that's a fair game. But a win is a win. I take it.
So how would you rate his Franco if you were to rate it from 10?
Wait. Oh, excuse me. Say again.
If you were to rate his Franco on a scale of 1 to Shark, what would you rate it?
Maybe around Joy Boy level.
Oh, around who?
Joy Boy.
Joybot level?
Oh, Joy Boy. Yeah.
Oh, Joybot level, but you are way above both of them.
We will see tomorrow. We will see.
Yeah, I like it. And Zia looks like he's still crawling in the back there. Is Zia feeling better now?
No, he cannot talk at all. He muted. He stay muted.
Oh no. Well, he still put on a monstrous performance, so good job to everyone on this team. We spoke with your opponents earlier, Area 77. They're chilling in a boot camp of their own in Dallas, and feeling pretty confident. How are you guys feeling about the match tomorrow?
You know, pretty normal. I never lost to Big Noise, so I see you tomorrow, 877. Get ready.
All right, and they told us a little bit about what they're doing to prepare for the matches. What are you guys doing in the boot camp preparing for your matches?
I think after this we have a water party for ready tomorrow. We drink water and we sleep.
You drink water tonight and then sleep. Drink water and ban Matilda as always.
Yep.
Yeah, and is there anything you want to say to Area 77, say to your opponents?
You know, last time I lost to Joy Bot last NACT, so I want to revenge on him tomorrow.
All right, you bet. And is there anything you want to say to your fans or anyone watching out there?
Thank you everyone, and shout out to Soul Rose, the man behind the BTK team. He have a loss. Soul the best.
Hey, Sir Rose, he is the coach for BTK this season, right?
Yes, mom.
Wow, you guys finally locked in Sir Rose, and best of luck to you guys tomorrow. Anything else any of the teammates want to say to the audience?
No, master.
All
think
right,
that's
I love
pretty
it,
much,
guys. Yeah, best of luck tomorrow. You guys are ready for it, and we can't wait to see you guys perform tomorrow.
Thank you, Chichi.